Thanks for joining us on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, where the message is always truthful, authentic, and inspiring. For more information on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com. Now your hosts, Bobbye and Tonilee.
Hi, my name is Bobbye Brooks. I want to welcome you to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged every day right here at K-Praise 1210 a.m. If you're brand new to the show, we are on every day at 10 a.m. through the month of April, but starting May 1st, we are going to the half hour, you might say. We'll be on at 10:30. Same show, same place, just 10:30, 30 minutes a little bit later in the morning. And don't forget, go to dailydisciples.org, click the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged banner, where you can watch all of the shows. So we've put up all of the shows and videos. And as a matter of fact, right now, I'm doing the show a little differently. I'm actually recording at home and giving you an opportunity to, if you're listening to the show maybe in the car, go and check out the video just by on demand. I think being on demand is where we're all at now. We just, think about how much we watch television and we just DVR, right? So we go and we skip through all the commercials or go to Netflix or any of the on-demand stations, and we don't have to watch commercials. So Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged banner takes you to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and you can watch this video right now, which is the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged radio show. So again, dailydisciples.org is the website to get all that information, as well as finding out about the upcoming Bible study. Don't forget, Wednesday nights we are doing the book of Romans, and you can get registered and signed up at dailydisciples.org or by calling 800-992-0369. Now, right now, if you're listening on the radio and you hear this little noise in the background, you may have heard of Mercy Bird. Mercy Bird is on the radio with me today, and you can't see her on video, but she's around here as I'm doing the show. Mercy Bird, we've told the story a few times, and I want to kind of take a moment today and remind everyone, if you're listening, about this Mercy Bird story. We've shared it on stage quite a bit, but I don't know how much we've really talked about it on the radio. And Mercy Bird is a cockatiel. So Mercy loves to talk, and throughout our radio shows in the past, Mercy has always been around somewhere. We can go into studio at KPRZ, or we can pre-record the shows. It just depends on where we're at, because we have our own studio. And we love pets. Tonilee and I are huge animal lovers. We love dogs, cats, birds, fish. I mean, we are big, big animal lovers. And so we take pets everywhere with us. And I know some people probably think that's a little unusual. It's one thing to take a dog and a cat somewhere. It's another thing to take a cockatiel. But Mercy Bird, even though she has this beautiful cage, we clip her wings. She's Tonilee's bird. Technically, it's her daughter's bird, but that was a long time ago when her daughter grew up, and we all, as mothers, we get stuck with the kids' pets. You know how that goes. But Mercy Bird has a little carrier that we can put her in the car, and she has cages at the office, so she has her own little bird cage at the office, and we can take Mercy Bird around. I have bird sat Mercy many times in the past when Tonilee and her family would go on vacation. Instead of leaving Mercy at the house just by herself, I would bring Mercy over to my house. I'll never forget Thanksgiving one year. I was cooking Thanksgiving dinner, and Mercy, I didn't have her in the cage. I'm one of these, I'm a pet owner that I'm not very good at disciplining animals. I just I know it's not necessarily discipline to keep them in the cage, but let me just put it this way. Animals and me, we share our space. So Mercy was in the kitchen with me, and I wasn't cooking anything. I'm very, very, very careful with Mercy around any sort of stove or oven, any that type of heat. So we weren't cooking. There was nothing on. But I was using flour to coat some chicken. I was going to fry up some chicken. And I had this big bowl of flour, and I was putting the chicken in the flour, to coat it. And Mercy got in the flour of my chicken bowl. And this little cockatiel had flour. It was the funniest thing. She had it everywhere. And of course, the more flour she got on her, the more she fluffed her wings, and flour was everywhere. It was like a big poof of flour. And her name, Mercy, was given to her. And as a matter of fact, she's quiet right now because I'm talking about her. If I weren't talking about Mercy, she might be talking right now. It's so funny. God is amazing how He created animals. Because if I'm not talking about her, she'll start chirping. But she knows that I'm talking about her, and she just happens to be in my house right now. You just heard her maybe in the background there. But if I'm talking about Mercy and I say Mercy bird, she gets quiet, like, oh, she's talking about me. These animals are so smart. They know their names. They know that you're talking about them. And so Mercy was given the name so that the kids would grow up, and every time you say Mercy, the whole goal was to say, I love Mercy. And we wanted Mercy to say, I love Mercy. And we wanted the kids to say, I love Mercy. Like, I love you, Mercy bird. I love Mercy. And that was really why Tonilee named her Mercy, based on the Bible, saying, I love Mercy. It's such a great name. But Mercy bird, very soon we realized that Mercy bird, and Tonilee got her when she was just a little chickadee, but Mercy bird has a personality unlike anything I've ever seen. I didn't never have birds as pets, because growing up in the South, we hunted birds. We didn't have birds in a cage in the house. But then again, we didn't have cockatiels either. But Mercy bird, we discovered, had a strong personality. Let's just put it that way. And Mercy got into everything. If we were eating, Mercy, and she wasn't in a cage, Mercy was in the food. She loves things that she should not eat as a bird. She loves butter. She loves milk and cereal, and she's supposed to be eating grains and seeds and even fruits and vegetables, but no, not Mercy bird. She eats cheese, and of course we have to watch her diet. We don't just like feed her everything she wants, but the point was we started saying, no Mercy, stop it Mercy, stop it, and the whole point of naming her Mercy was to say, I love Mercy. So Mercy ended up being a very funny bird, because she just is very strong personality for a little cockatiel bird. And she is spoiled. She wants her way. As a matter of fact, when you open the cage, she will just put her head down. So if I open her cage, she immediately just ducks her head. And what that means is she wants her neck rubbed. So if I open the cage to let her out, rub my neck first. She loves to have her neck and head rubbed. It's the funniest thing that a little tiny bird, you have to be so careful how you even rub her little feathers, because she's just tiny. I mean, one little pressure and it would just snap that little bird's neck. But she trusts us to just rub her neck and like massage her feathers. It's so funny. So one day we bring Mercy to work with us, or Tonilee brings her to the office, I should say, and she's in her little carrying cage, and we had clipped her wings. And when you clip the bird's wings, they can't fly. They can only fly down. So if you clip their wings a certain way, They can't like fly up into a tree. And we've always just wanted to be so, and Mercy's now like 12 years old. This bird's been around for a while. And we didn't ever want to put Mercy in danger, so we've always kept her in the cage. And if we put her outside, she's even in a cage outside. But she loves it. But this one day, for some reason, Tonilee decided, let's take Mercy around the block with us as we're walking the dog. So of course the dog comes to work with us, or comes to work with TL, and Sammy's at the office, and Sammy walks around the block. It's not a large block, it's just like a block in a residential area. And we're walking, and Mercy is on my shoulder, and she can't fly. She could only maybe jump down, but she can't fly. We're not really worried about her flying off. And she's fairly easy to pick up. Just kind of grab her gently and pick her up. We get all the way around the block back to the office, and there's a little patch of grass and a big palm tree. And there's a palm tree and another tree in the area. And as I'm there with Mercy Bird on my shoulder and Sammy, we're getting ready to go in. About that time, Tonilee hit my arm by mistake, pointing at something. And when she hit my arm, Mercy flew off of my shoulder just as hard as she could fly. I mean, with every ounce of energy that little bird had, she takes off and flies, of course, just straight down to the grass. She can't fly up, so she just flies straight to the grass. And of course, all I'm thinking about is, okay, I got to go over and pick up the bird. I don't want her to, I'm not worried about her flying away because she can't. I'm not worried about Sammy bothering her because he's used to her. But I'm about the time she hits the grass, and I know she's okay from that, a hawk, and I mean a real hawk, a big hawk. They're called red-tailed hawks here in Southern California. This hawk literally swooped down out of nowhere. I did not even see this hawk coming. Swoops on top of Mercy. And within a split second, that hawk would have picked that little bird up. And at that split second was the moment I got to the hawk and literally was able to knock the hawk off of Mercy Bird. So the hawk flew up into the tree right above us. I look up, and that hawk is sitting in the palm tree. And I grab Mercy Bird just in the palm of my hands, and I hold her. I put her close to my chest with both hands. And if you're on video, you can see I'm demonstrating. I put her close to my chest with both hands, covering her. Now, she has no idea what has just happened to her. She didn't even have a time to realize that this hawk had tried to pick her up. And a hawk is a big animal. It's not like a crow or a blackbird. It is a much different type of predator for small animals. Hawks can pick up all types of animals because that's how they survive. And so when I picked up Mercy Bird and held her, I mean, we were all just like, it was just Tonilee and I, we're like, whoa, what happened? And Mercy just chirp, 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 chirp. She just feels happy that she got to fly, all of, 10 feet to the ground. And we realized this hawk was following us around the block, all the way around the block. This hawk had been following us because it was the only way that it would know where we were going to end up. Hawks are not like randomly hanging out. They are searching for prey. They are searching as a predator. So as we had been walking around the block, this hawk had been going from tree to tree to tree watching us. Now, I carried Mercy Bird, of course, into the office, and everything was fine. But Tonilee and I both realized that this is what happens in the world. Jesus said in his prayer that, he didn't ask the Father to take us out of the world, but that he wanted us to know that he would be with us in the world. That he sent us his Holy Spirit to protect us and to help us and to counsel us, and that he would always be looking over our shoulder, that God would always be with us. Now, certainly the evil one, the enemy, the predator, the hawk, is always watching. Now, Satan himself is not necessarily watching us, but his legions of demons are. They're watching us and trying to position themselves at times. But we have a host of angels who are also doing the same thing. We have a host of angels who are positioning to protect us. And we have the Lord of hosts protecting us despite the principalities of the air that Paul talks about in Ephesians chapter 6. And we need to realize that even though there are times that we fly away, Mercy was safe on my shoulder. If Mercy was with me, at any time, I just take my hand and I can hold on to her on my shoulder. I can put my hand over her. I can pick her up and put her against my chest. I can put her in my hands. At any time, as long as she is on my physical body, she is protected. As long as she is within my reach, I'm not going to let anything happen to that little bird or Sammy. As long as they're in my reach, I'm going to guard over them and protect them. And that is how God is with us. As long as we are within his reach, he is much, much more able to reach out and grab us and protect us and watch over us. But whenever we choose to fly away, whenever we get fearful and fly away, Mercy responded to fear. Something startled her, and she flew away from her protector. Well, that happens to us too. Something in life can startle us, can bring fear to us. An event can happen that in a moment's notice, we can feel like God's not there, our protector's not there, and we can run away, fly away, get away from the one who takes care of us. Now, God is so good. He's so gracious. Remember, he's all powerful. He's all knowing, and he's ever present. He's not going to let anything take us out as long as we are walking with him and working with him. Now, are there tragedies that happen in life? Yes. How many of us have asked, why, Lord, why? Why did you let this terrible thing happen to this person who was doing all the right things, who was in your care? I can't answer those questions. Sometimes things happen. Some things happen whenever we just shake our heads and go, why, God? And we don't have the answers for that. It could be reasons far beyond anything we're going to understand until we get to heaven. Those questions everybody asks at times. But I do know that when we are in our Father's arms, we are so protected. We are in his loving embrace. And that's where we all want to be. When we fly away, like Mercy did, even though the enemy tried to swoop down and get her, God stepped in and knocked him away. Now, I am certainly not God, nor am I an angel, but in a metaphorical sense, I threw the hawk off of Mercy. God sends his angels. He sends his Holy Spirit. He is there with one swoop, one swipe of the hand, to remove the enemy far, far from us. And just remember that today. Do not let fear cause you to run away from God. Do not let things happen to cause you to react and run or fly or try to escape from God. Because when we do that, we are setting ourselves up for danger. It's one thing when bad things happen and we have no control over it. It's another thing when bad things happen because we brought that on ourselves. And we do not want that to happen. So that story will always stick with me as an illustration of how the enemy is roaming about, seeking whom he may devour. But greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Don't ever, ever forget that. So that's my little Mercy Bird story for today. Listen, if you're brand new to the show, join us at dailydisciples.org. Sign up for daily devotions. We're including a lot more video on the devotionals. Also, don't forget, Saturday, May 14th, we are partnering with Charity Wings Foundation, CharityWings.org, for an amazing all-day festival celebrating arts and crafts, and it's a day of healing. It's a day where we can all come out together. It's for children, adults, special needs. There's going to be food and live music and lots of crafts and booths and things set up for the kids. Every type of artwork you can imagine, from painting to sculpturing to ceramics to sewing, is going to be there. If you want to get a $5 wristband in advance that covers everything there, you can do that, but admission is free. Just go to CharityWings.org and get registered, or just show up on Saturday, May 14th at the Quad at Cal State San Marcos in San Marcos, California. Cal State San Marcos. Also, 2 great Southern Gospel acts are coming to Southern California. Southern Gospel. Triumphant is an amazing quartet, and Legacy 5. Both 2 different churches are hosting them. You can get all the dates and information by listening to Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged. You'll hear their commercial throughout the show today. Call 800-992-0369 if you have any questions. But these events are also absolutely free. So, no charge for the Art Festival Decade. It's really Art Decadence. 10 years that Charity Wings has been doing this, and the Southern Gospel events are also free to come and attend and listen to some good old Southern Gospel music. And don't forget, we are doing the Bible study in the book of Romans every Wednesday night in Vista at a church. The name escapes me right now. I want to say it's Oak Hills Community Church, but if you know, it's a Oak Hills Evangelical Covenant Church. Just go to dailydisciples.org and you'll find the information there, and also call 800-992-0369. So thanks for listening to Daily Disciples. Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged are on every day here at K-Praise 12:10 a.m. Don't forget, in May, 10:30 a.m. is the radio time. Until then, we're on at 10 a.m. throughout the month of April, 10:30 in May. God bless. Have a great day. Don't forget, God is always with you, always watching, always protecting. So embrace that and enjoy it, but do not be afraid to go out and just live life abundantly. Until then, have a great day. God bless, and we hope to see you soon.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online. For more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee. Subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.